This is a story that came out on NBC, um, September 1st, 2018. 15 prisoners died in 1 month in Mississippi. Their families want to know why. Never forget the fact that the majority of people that are sitting in prison have never been convicted of a crime. This whole legal system is criminal. The way they have it set up, it is criminal. So let's get into this story. This woman is holding up her son, who is one of the casualties that passed away in a Mississippi jail. His name was Lucius Bolton. Nicole Rathman's family expect to welcome her home this week from the Mississippi prison where she'd served 6 years on a drug conviction. And that's what the majority of the people are in there for, on a bunch of trumped up charges and drug possession. They buried her instead. Rathman, 33, died August 23rd in a hospital in Jackson, and her family says the state hasn't given a full explanation of what happened. Prison officials told her father, Ken Rathman, that Nicole, a mother who had struggled with meth addiction, died of an aneurysm. But the doctor at the hospital told Nicole's father that the aneurysm was a result of meth she used regularly while detained in the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility in Pearl. I know my daughter was no angel, but she was the responsibility of the state. Kent Rathman, who lives outside Chicago, told NBC News she was an addict. They did not help her. Of course not. They don't help anybody. This is her right here. All right. So she is one of the 15 that died in 1 month in Mississippi. Nicole Rathman is one of 15 Mississippi inmates between the ages of 24 and 75 who died while in state custody in August, a figure that has renewed concerns about state treatment of prisoners, including the medical care they receive. The cause of death of the prisoners has not officially been released, though correction officials said most died of natural causes. Okay, 24 years old and they died of natural causes. You know what? You're never going to get the truth. This whole system is set up to just lie. From the time you get apprehended from the cops, the lies just they just keep coming. They just keep coming and coming. You're not going to get down to the truth. Okay. One inmate was killed in a fight. Okay, well, that's not natural causes. Correction officials added, without releasing data, that the August deaths do not reflect a spike. Well, they're going to say whatever they have to say so they don't look like they're guilty in this whole thing. But in a state with one of the country's highest incarceration rates, where a lack of funding for prisons have driven chronic problems like understaffing and overcrowding, prison reform advocates and relatives of the prisoners who died are not going to give officials the benefit of the doubt. Overcrowding is just to ensure they have enough people to do the prison work on a regular basis. I've been around the system long enough to see this as more than a bad month, said Jody Owens, who has run the Southern Poverty Law Center Mississippi office since 2011. To chalk these up as natural causes, no, I'm not willing to accept that. Nobody should. Okay? Mm-mm. Facing mounting questions, Correction Commissioner Felicia E. Hall announced Friday afternoon that she had asked the FBI and Mississippi Department of Public Safety to assist in the investigation into the deaths. While we believe that most of the reported deaths during the month of August are from illnesses or natural causes, such as cancer and heart disease, based on available information, we are seeking assistance from other outside the department in the interest of transparency, Hall said in a statement. My administration is committed to ensuring that all individuals in the department's care receive appropriate medical care. The FBI released a statement Friday evening saying it would examine the facts and look into whether inmates' civil rights had been violated. The FBI takes all allegations of civil rights violations seriously, the statement said. It's eating me up. Lucius Bolton was dying, and all his mother, Alma Dunning, wanted was to talk to him. On August 4th, a prison official called Dunning at her home in Houston to tell her Bolton, who was suffering from late-stage stomach cancer while serving a 14-year sentence for burglary and gun possession, had been taken to an outside hospital for treatment. 4 days earlier, he phoned her from the Mississippi State Penitentiary to tell her he was in terrible pain and needed help. Clearly, his condition had worsened. The prison officials wouldn't tell her where he was or let him call her, she said. Days passed. Dunning grew frantic. She pleaded for a call, and the prison officials refused, citing Bolton's poor disciplinary record behind bars. See, this is what they want to do to you. They want to have complete say and control over you like a slave. There should be no 13th Amendment in existence if you claim you ended slavery. As long as that 13th Amendment is being actively used to imprison people, then slavery never went anywhere. And that's what we must start saying, and stop letting these people get away with sitting in our faces talking about, well, we ended slavery. They're lying. The 13th Amendment says they're lying, and it never went anywhere. On August 15th, Dunning said a chaplain called her and said she could come in to see her son, but he probably wouldn't survive the night. She began searching for flights. 20 minutes later, the chaplain called again. Bolton, 29, was dead. He left a wife and a 10-year-old daughter. My main concern is to get this story out so they can't do this to other people, said Dunning, 51, adding, it's eating me up inside to see my baby when he died. Okay. So I'm just going to go down, and of course the relatives are saying someone should be responsible for all the inadequate, how inadequate these facilities are, and we shouldn't be shocked by that. These facilities are not fit for humans, and they know it. All right, so these are the inmates who died in August. Albert McGee, 57, serving a life sentence, but they don't have the cause of death of any of these people. Charles R. McCullough, 66 years old. All right, so these are the people. All right, 29. Here's a 20-year-old. Nija Sylvina Brazilis Bonham, 24, killed in a fight with an inmate serving 20 years. So, as you can see, the list goes all the way up to a 75-year-old. And, it doesn't give the cause of death. It just tells you, the reason why they were behind bars. But, I, after doing, much research, especially over the last few years, just understand America does a lot of shady things to get people in jail. A lot of cops have lied to clear up unsolved cases by pinning it on people that never did a crime. You also have the legal system that goes overboard, overcharging people and giving these astronomical sentences for really meager things. And in all honesty, if you're not a hardened criminal, you shouldn't be in jail at all. All this stuff, oh, well, they got caught with meth, so they got this long sentence for meth. Nobody should be in for that reason. Your hardened criminals are the only ones that should be in prison. As for all of these drug possession charges, get the hell out of here. Those folks don't belong in prison. But it's amazing. You'll put somebody in jail for having a little bit of weed found on them. But these opioid addicts, you want to give them amnesty. And those narcotics are much harsher than marijuana. But you want to keep them free and out here because it's a public health issue. It tells you right there something is wrong with the system. It's not right. It shouldn't even exist. It came out of slavery. The whole prison system was designed to keep Black people in there primarily. And it was designed for that reason from day one. When we left the plantation, that's when they start screaming and hollering that we were criminals. Okay, the day the slaves walked off the plantation, that's when they start calling you a criminal. And when you refused to work for free, that's when you became lazy. There's a pattern to the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. But the 13th Amendment was designed for us. And it was designed to keep us in jail and keep their slave work going. So no, the next time one of them open their mouth and tell you slavery ended, you can call them a liar. Because if slavery ended, there should be no 13th Amendment written anywhere. Either you really mean you ended it or you don't. And right now, when I see stuff like this, it says you didn't end nothing. And I don't want to hear that lame ass argument anyway. You didn't give us nothing all throughout history. It's a fact. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a complete disgrace. Peace, family.